Welcome to the last day in our 4-week series. It has been awesome to be with you all. It's, as always, been rich and diverse and has had a lot of unexpected insights and experiences, I know for me. Hopefully it has for you as well. So the title of this year's Advent series was Awakening Anew in Stillness. And when we think about new birth or new life, and this is kind of a new, right, where we're birthing new, it's anything but still. Whether you've given birth to a child, whether you have seen someone giving birth to a child, it's anything but new, right? I mean, still, it's anything but still. It is fraught with movement, with energy, with sound. And so it creates this paradox when we talk about new life or new birth happening primarily in stillness and having a component that is actually not still at all. So what is required of us if we are to awaken anew is to have the audacity to go wherever we are in the moment so that the birthing can happen. So when we move ourselves into the attention point of where we truly are, not our ideas of where we are or our intentions about other things, but when we actually experientially go to where we are, we discover that in that very movement, in that very, what's a popular phrase to put it, in the dropping in, there is a certain quality that might be called stillness. Even if the dropping in is into a place that has angst or anger or exhilaration or push. So even in movements that happen in us, qualities that happen that aren't still, when we drop in, the very act of dropping in is a creative movement that bears the fruit of stillness in which we can awaken anew. And I hope that over this 4 weeks, you have found that in a microcosm sense, that each one that we've done together had a certain quality of dropping in. So maybe the topic was manifold. Maybe it moved a lot in you. Maybe you were bored by it, but nonetheless, it tilled the soil so that when it came time for our moments of meditation, you dropped in. And what happens in the dropping in? There is a presence to self that is not able to be put into words, that has a breadth and a depth and a spaciousness to it. That is where the awakening anew happens. That is the place of birth. So if you take even a dramatic image of someone in a delivery room who's breathing and shouting and sweating and in the throes of it, they're so dropped into the experience. They are so pulled in, all senses to what is happening right there, that there is also a certain stillness. And it is that place that we could say is something of the anchor and or origin, depending on how we mean it, of the birthing process. And we've let ourselves explore this from many angles, from our spiritual beliefs to the use of the mind, to the element of the heart, to subtle energy, to physical body, to the emotions, to tricky topics in spirituality, to life-giving topics in spirituality. And today we come to the final day. And since we are part of a larger birthing that's happening, I thought the best way to bring our series to a close would be to do a meditation that is a birthing of the cosmos. Because we're the cosmos and we're birthing, and we are part of the cosmos that is birthing anew. That is birthing anew. And for this, I'm taking a text that many of you are familiar with, and we'll be taking the first line of this text. So many of you are familiar with prayers of the cosmos. And in prayers of the cosmos, we have the translation of the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic. And the very first phrase, which I'm going to say it, though I don't know Aramaic, so I know I'm not saying it right, but Abun Dwashmaya. That very first phrase will be the focal point of our meditation today. And when Neil looked at this and looked at the translation, looked to translate it from the intention of the words, he came up with the heading of Our Birth in Unity. Well, more than ever, or perhaps just as much as ever, maybe that's more accurate, we sure could use a birthing into unity here in our world and within our own being. We sure could use that, right? And I'm going to use the words which take up a full page to situate our meditation. But first, I'm going to read it for you. O birther, this is the ineffable one, the beloved, Father, Mother of the cosmos, you create all that moves in light. O thou, the breathing life of all, creator of the shimmering sound that touches us, respiration of all worlds, we hear you breathing in and out in silence. Source of sound, in the roar and the whisper, in the breeze and the whirlwind, we hear your name. Radiant one, you shine within us, outside us. Even darkness shines when we remember. Name of names, our small identity unravels in you. You give it back as a lesson. Wordless action, silent potency, where ears and eyes awaken, there heaven comes. O birther, Father, Mother of the cosmos. So in this first phrase that we might say in a traditional Our Father to be, Our Father who art in heaven, Neil says all of that, all that I just read as the real translation of that first line. And as we open our hearts up, we can say a simple phrase like Our Father, Mother, and it can open up and connote to us all that is written here. But sometimes words help us. Sometimes words give us an entry point, an anchor point, so that we can rest into them in the way that we might call a surrender. In opening up to this birth again and again and again, realize that it is always something new in the eyes of the beloved. that while it may seem like to you you're slow to learn, slow to change, me, slow to learn, slow to change. It may seem that the birthing has already happened and the stability is still yet coming. But if we look at every moment or every micro breath as a new birth, we discover that with the new birth is like a new dawn. Think about how it feels when you see the sun rising for the first time that day, the only time that day, right? But the first moments of the day taken with that sunrise, there is something fresh about it. And in that image, we have the opportunity to see that our homecoming, our awakening, our realization of ourselves, that this is fresh and innocent and new. It may be built upon the work of this lifetime, the work of many lifetimes, the collective consciousness of all time. It may be a furtherance of all that, which it is, but it is also ever new. Think about a time when you really gave yourself another chance. So think about the difference here. Let's say you make a commitment to do something and you don't do it, or you fail in doing it, and you go ahead and try again. Sometimes our attitude can be, well, I've already tried this, but I'm trying again. Or maybe we've tried 50 times or 150 times or 1,050 times. And the felt sense, the more we engage the choice and either fail or fail to do it, there can be a residual buildup of heaviness that robs the moment. It doesn't help you, it robs the moment of its freshness and its innocence and its purity and its lightness. Think about a time when you didn't lay that heavy burden on yourself and something of grace moved within you. And when you went to do something that maybe you failed in the past or you had failed to even try, but you were in a new spirit to do it. And you did it with the freedom of that lightness. Think about the difference in that quality. And nothing is denied there. Nothing is repressed. Nothing is bypassed. It's in light of all your history. But it is not heavy laden by the history. I hope that that gives words to offer the distinction that I mean by this sense of new. And so as we enter into the direct holiday of the Christ birth and all that comes after that, that as we enter into that, how can you give yourself the gift of entering into it new, awakening new, and release the heavy laden burden of all your past efforts and attempts. And let's strive in this meditation to do just that. So we're going to do an energetic breath. It's going to be a breath of the cosmos to go alongside the prayer of the cosmos. And this is our birth in unity. So just as someone who's learned how to breathe properly in childbirth, so you're invited to harness your breath into this birthing. It's not quite as intense with a push, a timing and a push, That erupts a bit more effortlessly in the spiritual world. But there is a consistency that happens when we are committed to the breath, and especially when we are breathing the cosmos. So I'm going to invite you when we close our eyes to focus in on your breath. And we're simply going to go from there with some guidance on the breath. And we are going to sit breathing anew the cosmos, breathing anew. Not just breathing the cosmos as an old story, but breathing the cosmos anew and again anew. Remember the story I told in one of our sessions about the little boy who was walking around going, I wake up. And he said it so freshly and newly all through the day, even though he had been awake all day. That's the quality that we're getting to be a part of in this meditation. So I invite you to close your eyes. And before focusing on the breath, become conscious and aware of where you are right now. Where is your heart? What's really going on there? Where's your body? What is it feeling right now? Where are the thoughts? And what is the center point? Go where you are. That's your center point. If you're feeling depressed, don't not be depressed in order to be here. Actually go into the sensations. Be where you are. If you are feeling light and joyful, be there. Be where you are. And be with where you are now for a moment or two. And now let the breath be where you are, in the thoughts and the sensations and the feelings. Wherever it is you are right here, let the breath breathe in and out of this place. And now let the breath, let yourself be breathed by this breath from this place where you are. Whatever you are feeling and sensing and experiencing, let the breath happen there. And let yourself receive being breathed as you exist in this state. Notice the stillness as you stay with it to breathe and be breathed where you are. Notice the subtle movements that happen, the shift and change. The change could be in texture, in intensity. Change could be anything. And let this breathed action that is happening, let it happen through the entire body and beyond the physical body, just as much as is natural. And notice how you are sitting, being breathed in the moment. And now notice any plants in your room or plants you know that are outside your room or outside your home or where you may be. Everything from grass to soil to trees to bushes to even empty flower stems. If you're in a snowy area, and notice that they too, each individually, are being breathed. You can experience this by even seeing them pulse a certain breath quality. Notice any animals, ones in your home or where you may be, cats, dogs, fish, birds, insects seen and unseen, and those outside where you are, whether it be a home or a residence or an office. And notice that they too are being breathed into being. And now notice that you and they are all being breathed anew. Each breath is new, is the first of its kind in that moment. Broaden your awareness to all the elements being breathed in your local proximity: the air, the sun, the moon, the stars, the soil, the rocks, everything. All is being breathed, and you along with it. And now broaden the awareness to notice that all, without exception, every human being every planet, every solar system, every universe, every galaxy, all are being breathed individually and collectively. In this rest into being enlivened, and let the words of this translation, titled Our Birth in Unity, fall upon this fertile ground of active receptivity and birthing that you are in right now. O birther, Father, Mother of the cosmos, you create all that moves in light. O thou, the breathing life of all, creator of the shimmering sound that touches us, respiration of all worlds, we hear you breathing in and out in silence. Source of sound, in the roar and the whisper, in the breeze and the whirlwind, we hear your name. Radiant one, you shine within us, outside us. Even darkness shines when we remember. Name of names, our small identity unravels in you. You give it back as a lesson. Wordless action, silent potency, where ears and eyes awaken, there heaven comes. O birther, Father, Mother of the cosmos. And in this, I invite you to draw your palms together in front of your heart and to open your eyes with the silent recognition of the birthed one, and the one who does the birthing. Blessings, my friends. It's been awesome being with you. I will see you all. If you're part of Essence Tribe, I will see you at our next meeting. I'll be sending out a doodle poll about that.